Hmm. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. On this channel, we're all things money, investing, and mindset. In particular, how to go from a scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, please stay. If this is your first time joining us, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are catching this in the replay, hey, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit all those little buttons down underneath. It doesn't even matter what button you hit. Just hit one and it's absolutely free. Um, oh, that thing just changed on its own. What the heck? Anyway, I'm going to be here for a little bit looking at my charts. I need to set up my charts. I need to do some charting, y'all. I haven't been trading because I haven't charted. And so I'm going to go through like NVIDIA's chart, a couple of the ETFs that we've been looking at in our class, and I need to chart them. So I figure while I'm charting them, hey, Winsome, that's my sister. That's my patty cake sister. I promise you, every time I even see Winsome's name, I just bubble up and I feel like doing this. I don't know what it is. It's just Winsome's personality. So I haven't been trading. You all know I was in Vietnam. Hey, Mimi. I had been in Vietnam for the last month. I got home maybe it's been 2 weeks now. And so I hadn't charted anything. So if you want to see how to plot support and resistance, and then we can just talk about some stuff. We can also do some back testing, which is how you go back in the past. You look at a trade that has already happened, or you look at a chart that's already happened, and then you examine like how you could have made your entry or your exit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is chart. I haven't been trading, and Lord, y'all want to talk about missing out on some money opportunities? I just have to rest in what I know, and that is that the market is always going to be there. And any money that I didn't make in December, it'll be made. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear my charts. Oh, also, I took everything off my chart. I had an appointment this morning. So generally, when I have an appointment, I clear everything off of my chart. So you guys will get a chance to see how I add all of the indicators, and how I plot with Fibonacci's retracement. And then I'll show you just the old fashioned way to put on your support and resistance. And if you don't know, if you don't know the importance of support and resistance, there's a video that I have that talks about support and resistance. But just in a word, if you're trading in particular, you would want to know it too, I guess, if you're investing, if you're that into it. But for trading, you always want to know like where a stock, where there are buyers, like at what price do buyers get excited, or at what point would buyers probably be interested in taking profit. And so you want to know those price levels because it will affect the timing of your entry and even your exit. So y'all know it's like every time I get on here, hey sister, every time I get on here, I get hot. Oh, let's see. It doesn't take much because it's still hot here in Thailand. I want to say, what was the average temp? I don't know. It'd be hot, not 90, but at least in the 80s. And so let's get into it. All right. So the first thing, let me share my chart with you, and I'm going to show you how I put on my support resistance and put on all of the indicators and stuff. Do know there are people who trade and they don't use any indicators at all. So I'm going to take this down to a daily chart and we could talk about what we're looking at. Man, NVIDIA is a beast, a beast, a beast, a beast. It's crazy. Let me see. This is my daily chart. So this is over 1 year. So let me just get in here so I can make sure you all see what I see. Okay, so what we're looking at is my NVIDIA chart, and this is an old fibs, but it still holds true. So let me switch over so I can look at it and talk intelligently with y'all about this. Where's my chart? Okay. And hold on, because when I put it on the TV in front of me, that helps me see what the heck is going on. So I can see what you guys see. me turn this down. How is everybody today? I miss y'all. Oh, just so y'all know, I've been asleep all day. So it is, God knows what time. What is it? It's after midnight here, y'all. It's 12:30 a.m. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Kathy. But y'all, I've been asleep all day. So I was like, okay, I might as well get up and do something productive with this time. I'm sick of looking at YouTube stuff, like all that back end stuff. I'm just tired of looking at it. So I figured I'd come on and share this chart situation with y'all. And maybe we could just chat it up. Just chat it up, ladies. Yes, I needed it too, Kathy. I needed it. I had been kind of running, pushing, trying to get, just trying to make it happen. Like anybody else, everybody, especially anybody who has a YouTube channel, you can get saturated. It's like between answering emails, posting, it's a lot of stuff. And so, yeah, I gave myself a real rest today. But I want you all to see this. This is incredible. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm looking at this chart, and this is NVIDIA's growth. Let me pull it up so I can see when this was. Somebody's texting. Let's just look at the time. Okay, so this was 24. So this is the course. This cannot be true. Somebody help me with this. Yvette is smarter than me, y'all. Yvette, is this really true? Is this a year? Is this NVIDIA over 1 year? I'm sick. I was in the market. Y'all, please look at this. In January of last year, NVIDIA was trading at $154. This can't be right. NVIDIA is almost up to $540. That's a $400 increase. Yvette, is this true? Is that right? Am I looking at this right? Their growth this year was amazing. What the stink? Y'all, anyway, it is not too late to get into the market. I am trying to share this with my friends and my family. Had you bought just 10 shares, it was that would have been $1,500. Let's say you bought it at 160. That's $1,600. It would now be worth, God only knows how much, because it's not a straight shot, but it goes up and down, up and down. It just look at the growth. At any rate, if that doesn't convince you to get in the market, I don't know what could convince you. And not to mention, Nancy Pelosi just bought up a ton of NVIDIA. So while I don't like to purchase single stocks, I don't know, y'all. I might I'm gonna watch and see, because this is an all-time high for NVIDIA. And generally, an all-time high, it might reject. It might do anything. But if it continues to climb, oh my goodness, am I sick? I'm sick. Look at this. Right here was a big old gap up right here. And I'm surprised it didn't come back to fill that gap. I'd be curious to know what was happening. Y'all see that? Right there. Hold on, let me see who this is. Somebody keeps texting me. What's this? Was this spelling intentional? I don't even know who this is. I must have misspelled something wrong. Oh God. If y'all gonna hold me to the spell, I don't even know who that is calling me to tell me I spelled something wrong. It's midnight. Y'all look. I'm happy to even be getting something up. Is this spelling intentional? I don't know who that is, but girl, it is what it is. You got to know me by now. Y'all know my glasses probably was foggy. Can't be here now, but my like stays. Oh, well, thank you, Louise. Thank you, thank you. That's okay, Kathy. We're not doing anything special. Somebody asked me, is that spelling intentional? They must not know me. Y'all know me, right? I left Perfect alone a long time ago. Perfect almost killed me. I can't do perfect. I just do the best I can. Hey, Lisa, it is what it is. But we're just looking at, hold on. Oh, let me turn that off. Okay, we're just looking at NVIDIA's growth over the course of 1 year. And so I'm going to take everything off of my chart. I'm not going to even really do a lot of talking about the stock itself. But what I want to do is show you all how to put your indicators and stuff on in case there's somebody who doesn't know. I'm going to take these fibs off and I'm going to put everything back on my chart. So just hold tight. Let's see. Remove drawings. I'm going to take the fib off, and I'm going to take this off. I must have been looking at something some time ago. So let's remove drawings. Clear drawing set. All right, so we're starting with a clean chart. And generally what I like to do is, you guys know when I am trading, I like to use the MACD, RSI, and the TTM Squeeze. There are people who trade with nothing but volume and a VWAP. I can't do it. Personally, I'm trading with training wheels. And so if you're like me, like a new trader, all that, I don't want too many things, but I like to have just enough so that I can check myself. And by check myself, I mean I'm looking for a confluence. And confluence is when more than one indicator suggests the same thing. And so that's why I use those indicators. So let's get started. I'm going to change this. You see, I'm going right up to this drawing tools, and I'm going to change this back to the cursor. Here, if you click this drawing tool menu here, this is where you can get all the stuff like your price levels. If you want to put on support and resistance manually. But y'all, to be perfectly honest with you, I like Fibonacci's retracement. It just holds true. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but that's what I do. So I'm gonna skip that. I'll come back to it. And for now, I'm just going to put on my indicators. And so let me share this box with you, because I don't think y'all, I'm gonna see if y'all can see this pop-up box. I don't think it'll show. Hold on. Let me go share this pop-up box with you so you can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So hopefully you can, in a second, you'll be able to see this pop-up box. And in this pop-up, on the left-hand side, underneath where it says studies, I just type in MACD and then double tap, and you'll see that it'll populate over here on this side. MACD. The other one I like is the RSI. And then I like the TTM. Do you all use any other indicators? I need to get over in the chat and see what indicators you use, because some of you guys have been trading for a while. The other thing that I like to put on my chart is I like to have this is the way I was trained. And so until I learn something different, this is the way I do it. I would love to just trade with volume and VWAP. Oh my God. I would feel like a real trader then. But again, I'm a baby trader. And by baby trader, I've only been trading, it's been less than 2 years. And so I like to trade with 4 simple moving averages. The 9 a little over 2 weeks. So it's an intermediate, short-term to intermediate indicator. I mean, moving average. So the way you get your moving averages on is you type in the word simple and then come down to the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go ahead and customize these. So this is a 9-day. I want to make this one a 20-day. You might not see this pop-up menu. I'll just do it real quick. 20. Then I'm going to do my 50. And I keep the colors consistent on mine. It's always the same, no matter what chart I'm on. So that way it's easier for me to track. I always know that my 200-day is that green moving average. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. So let me just pop over here and see. Okay, so you guys, let me move this so you can see the chart too. Let's see. Can you see me and my chart? Let me share the chart again. So you'll be able to see what it looks like with all the indicators on it. All right. So let me just check in and see. Now I must go. See you later, Kathy. We will. Mimi, see, love NVIDIA earnings, the big gap. I know. What the heck was that? Earning the big gap. I'm loving NVIDIA. Y'all know. Let me put this over here so you can really see. Okay. So here's what it did. Can you all see on this chart the indicators? That green one is my 200-day. The pink one is my 50-day. And then you can see it on the top of the screen too. My simple moving average for 9 days is the blue one, and my 20-day is yellow. And I always keep the same colors. It doesn't matter, what I'm charting. I keep the same colors just for continuity, and it helps me keep it straight in my mind. Okay, and so I use the MACD as one of the indicators. And again, once you start trading, you can put anything on. There are plethora of indicators, and I think once you get a feel for it, you decide what works for you. But this is what works for me. If you like it, take it, use it. If you have another way that you do, drop it in the chat. Just let me know what you're doing. Again, I hope to one day be one of those traders where all I need is volume and VWAP. But for now, I'm trading with training wheels. I started about a year. Let's see. I took my first class in October of last year. Yeah. So October, November, December, January. So it's been about 15 months. For all the traders here, how long have y'all been at it? Oh, okay. Let me put your question up, Mimi. And how long did it take before you felt comfortable with it? Um, Mimi, I didn't take my first trade. It was months before, like with money. Personally, I think you should paper trade till the cows come home. I think you should paper trade until you're comfortable. But it took me a while. So there's some other traders in the chat. Yvette, I want to say Yvette is new to trading too. But when I tell y'all Yvette is a beast, Yvette is a beast. She got right in it. So, okay. So I'm going to take this down, Mimi, just so I can, and I better move me out of the way too, so you all can see these indicators. Where can I move me to? I could take me totally out the chat. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I could take me totally out. That works. Okay, so here we go. So here's the first one. This is the MACD, and they call the MACD the heartbeat of your chart. And maybe I'll blow it up a little. They call it the heartbeat in that it helps you track. Like if you're looking at a trend, an upward trend or downtrend, it kind of helps you see where you are in a trend. If it's sustaining, if it's waning, if it's a downtrend and it's building momentum, or if it's losing momentum. And so you'll notice on this MACD that there are primarily 4 colors. This is what I love about trading, is that, man, if you're not colorblind, you could probably do this. So you'll see these bright red bars. Then you'll see these dark red bars. You see these bright green bars, and then underneath there, you'll see some dark green ones. So I'll use this piece of the chart right here because you can see it really well. So you'll see these bright green bars, you see these dark green bars, then you see these bright red, and then you see them dark red. Not only do they change colors, but they also change in size. And so let's just take this piece of the chart right here, and I'm going to go up to the candlesticks because clearly this is on my daily chart too. So each one of these candlesticks up top represents 1 day of trading. So over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 2 weeks, you could see where NVIDIA's price was just going up. It's clearly an upward trend. You can see that. So at the beginning of this trend, the price was as low as 391 and it got up to 501. So from about $400 to $500. Lord Jesus, I wasn't here. Where was I? Y'all, I was actually, was I out then? I don't know, because I left somewhere around in here. But at any rate, so you can see that this is an upward trend. I think, price was lower, price is going up. You can also see that the price cut through all of it was already above the 200-day moving average, but then it kind of bumped up above the 9-day. It cut right through that 20-day and right through the 50-day, and it is riding clearly above all of those simple moving averages. So anytime you see your candles above the simple moving averages like that, and you see them in succession, that's pretty much an upward trend. You want to see that. That's a good sign when it's above all of those simple moving averages, because basically what it's saying is the price is higher than it's been in the last 200 days, the last 50 days, the last 9 days, and the last 20 days. So that's a good indicator. This is an upward trend. So I'm going to come down to my MACD. Well, a lot of indicators are lagging. And by lagging, I mean they will report what you see in the candlesticks just a little bit behind what actually is happening. So while we can see price starting to creep up on this candle right here, from here to here, price goes up. From here to here, the price continues to go up. And every day it's just going up. But if you look down here at the MACD, you don't see from this day to this, price went up. You don't see a green candle here, a green bar here. What you see is this red where it's the darker red and these bars are getting smaller. It's indicating to you that coming out of this downward trend, that the trend is getting ready to change. And we'll talk about this crossover right here. That crossover is a good indicator that this is a direction reversal. Because if you think about it, look here, for 3 days, the price was going down. And then suddenly we get this nice little run up. Well, the MACD catches up and it starts to report that we're in an upward trend somewhere around this candle. So that's what I mean when I say it's a lagging indicator, in that if it was like in the moment, it would have told us like right on this candle, hey, or this candle, that look, the price is going up, but it doesn't. You see, you don't start to get these green bars until about this fourth candle here. So the MACD is a lagging indicator. Is it still valuable? Yes, I think it is. It helps me visually see if this trend is continuing to go up and if it's increasing in magnitude, if it's increasing in momentum. And so not only are the bars nice and bright green, but they're also getting taller, 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 taller. And suddenly you'll see they turn to this dark green and then they start to get smaller, 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 smaller. So when the trend is going up, they are green. And if the trend increases in momentum, or it's strong, we're right in the thick of it and it's not reversing, you'll notice that the bars get bigger, bigger, bigger. And that's a good sign. When they start to turn that dark green and they start to get smaller, 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 they're telling you, okay, we're losing a little momentum. This trend, price might still be going up, but it's not going up as fast and it's not going up with as much force and probably not as much volume. It could be any number of those things. But if you look at the candles, they're telling you that price up, 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 up. And then we kind of get into a little consolidation here where we're just trading sideways for a few days, where the price doesn't get above $500. I thought that was going to be our high. I had no clue we were going to hit 550. So that's how you use the MACD. And also that crossover is important because the crossover, even though it's late and it's lagging, is indicating that we are leaving out of that downward trend and going into the upward trend. And you'll see that every time that happens. Look here, there's another crossover. And you can see that you're coming out of this upward trend and we're going down into this downward trend. So if you can fix your eyeballs to just kind of look for the uptrend, look for the downtrend, know that when it's consolidating, nobody wants to be in that when it's all caught up in these SMAs like that. We don't want fool with that. You want this. You want it clearly above. This is a good time to talk about entering a trade. When it's caught up in all of those SMAs, you just want to kind of sit it out. Not to say that there weren't trade opportunities during the day. This is my daily chart. So if you move down to an intraday chart, of course, there were trade opportunities all in there. But if we were on a smaller time frame and you saw these candles all intertwined, let's say we were looking at the 3-minute chart and you saw these candlesticks sitting in there like in succession, caught up here, that's not a time to jump into a trade. You want to see upward trends above these, and for downward trends, you would like to see it underneath those, and preferably even underneath. If you can get underneath that 200-day, if you get underneath all 4 of them, then you're reasonably sure, depending on market conditions, that that's a downward trend and it's a little safer. I say that because if you have an SMA like hanging out above, it could present resistance, and you don't want that. You want a clear shot. And this is why we also plot our price level. So I'll go back and do that later. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this MACD and that it really isn't difficult to read. I don't look at any numbers. I don't do any formulas. I don't have my pencil and my paper out. I'm really just looking at these colors. It's like, okay, this is cool. Upward trend waning. We're coming into a little bit of a downward trend. Okay, downward trend waning. And it just does that all day. So that's the MACD. It's called the heartbeat. And you know how your heartbeat tells you how healthy you are. This heartbeat on this chart tells us how healthy this trend is. Or if the trend is, it's getting a little sickly and a little weak. It's a weakening trend. This is a very strong upward trend. This dark green and the diminishing bars tell us that this trend is not so healthy and that it's dying down, it's dying out. So I'm just going to peek over here and see if you all have any question. That stop loss is so important. Oh, let me get over here in the chat. This is what it's going down in the chart. Okay, it's going down over here in the combo. There's no time limit in learning. I retired. Yep, Marilyn be spitting nothing but straight truth to y'all. That stop loss is everything. I think anybody who trades without a stop loss just wants to throw their money out the window. You might as well just burn your money because you can never predict what the market is going to do. You just cannot. And so it's better to always have that protective measure in place. I've said this 1,000 times. I think a stop loss is more critical than a stop limit. I mean, if you want to have a trade where you can walk away and you don't have to monitor it, of course you want to have both of those because you're basically saying, stop me out if I lose this much. That's the purpose of a stop loss. That will save your account. And a stop limit is stop me out when I get this much profit. So either way, if I had to pick, like if somebody put a gun to my head and said, you can only pick one, I'm picking a stop loss because at all costs, I want to protect my capital. That's your job as a trader and an investor too, is to protect your capital. That's your money. And so we should always be looking to protect our capital. Schedule your 101. That's my sister. It says Yvette Boom. First time I ever did that. Last time I ever will. Slow travels. I'm just catching up, just checking to see what y'all talking about because I'm nosy on the West Coast now. Hey, Nicole. It's so good to see you. Okay. So we talked about the MACD. Let's go ahead and look at our RSI. I like the RSI because I want to know when a stock is overbought or oversold. And so here's your RSI. And somebody can drop in the chat what RSI stands for. I get it mixed up. It's either relative strength, it's a relative strength index. But there's also another thing that's the relative strength indicator. At any rate, The way I like to use my RSI is I want to know if a stock is overbought. That means that the buyers have gone in and run the price up so that it'll touch this top line on my RSI. And this has a value of 70. The bottom line on my RSI has a value of 30. And so somewhere right in between, of course, 70 and 30 is 50. And generally, when it hits that 50, you'll notice that it's also consolidating. So consolidation is this kind of sideways trading where there isn't much price movement up or down. And you know what? I think I'm going to come down to my 5-minute chart for the rest of this. Ooh, what a good trading day. I don't know. See, I don't like yeah, I'm not gonna say too much, but I like it when it's clearly above them. Like I might have considered getting in this trade here for a call. Like once it crossed above that 200 day, and it bounced up in this candle, I may have taken this because it's above all of those. Can you all see how clearly it is above these? And then once it crosses below all of these for a put, I might consider here. It just feels like a much safer trade for me. But not having my support and resistance on here, I'd have to have that to make a real decision. So we talked about our SMA, simple moving averages. And just in case you guys don't know what a simple moving average is, it's simply a line that plots the average price over that time frame. So my blue is my 9-day. So if you follow that blue line, what you're actually looking at is the average price of NVIDIA over the course of 9 days. And so on that 10th day, what they do is they take that day and they drop off the first one. So it's like a rolling average. So you can always look at that and say, well, over the last 9 days, this was the average price at any point. When you touch here over the last 9 days, 9 days back from this exact moment, this was the average price. And so the same is true for my yellow line, which is my 20-day simple moving average. It does nothing but track what was the average price of this equity over the last 20 days. So if I plot my pointer here, over the last 20 days, right up to that moment, that was the average price. So of course, when you see that the price has gotten above what it was over the last 200 days, oh, we're getting into some highs here. That's a good indicator for getting into a call. And once you see it cross under all of the SMAs here, that's like right here where it crosses under all four. All four of these are above this candle. It actually closes beneath there. And then you have another red candle that opens and closes underneath all four. This candle opens and closes underneath all four of those. So that's a good sign when you're looking at puts. Anything above. Now, when you get in here and it's all tangled up and stuff, you don't want to trade up in here because look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes, 40, for some considerable time, it didn't do any price movement really. And we talked about that in some previous sessions that like in the middle of the day, traders go to lunch. Brokerage houses, those rich folks are at lunch. It's just us day traders, just us chickens here still looking at our charts, but they break for lunch. And generally, you'll be able to see in the morning, you get a lot of volume, you get a lot of stuff, a lot of movement, a lot of folks in and out of the market. There's a lull in the middle of the day, unless there's some news, if something happens like a door falls off an airplane, you might get some movement. And then later in the day, once traders and once, big, what do they call them, y'all? Anyway, brokerage houses, those people, the big folks, the big wigs, the big money, when they come back, then you'll see some more activity at the end of the day. So the trading day has a rhythm, lots of rhythm right in the beginning of the day. And then you can see, look at your volume bars, look at how big they are. And then they kind of get small in the middle of the day. because there just isn't as much trading going on. And then they'll pick up a little bit at the end of the day. So that's what I do with volume. I don't really pay attention to the actual value. I'm looking at the size of this bar and I'm looking at the color of this bar. I'm also sometimes looking at how many in succession. Like if I got 5, 6, 7 green bars in a row, oh, we're on a good, that's a good uptrend. If you get 5, 6, 7 red bars in a row, that's a pretty serious, it's a sell off. So trading, this chart might look intimidating, but it really isn't. It's not. Volume, you don't need to calculate anything. You're just looking at the size and the color. And I'm sure somebody else has something else that they do, but that's what I do. But if you wanted to know, you can see the number, it fluctuates as you move. It'll actually tell you what the volume was for that 5-minute time frame. It tells you how many, people or how many transactions were happening at that time. And so we talked about the MACD being the heartbeat, tells us how healthy a trend is, if it's building up momentum, if it's losing momentum, and that crossover is important. So whenever you see that crossover, pay attention. And then we were talking about RSI. The top value is 70, and if it hits that 70, it's the indication that it's overbought, meaning the buyers have shown up and run the price up. But that for me is also like a little signal in my mind to, we might want to get ready for a put, because when it's overbought like that, it can't stay up there forever. It doesn't mean it's going to plummet down, but if you look at it, look, here it was overbought, and by the end of the day, this thing runs from the top all the way down to the bottom. So, yeah, I'm trying to see. Like from here to here, that's 5, 10, 15, 20. But see, I don't know. That big bar at the end of the day is generally, I think, traders taking profits at the end of the day. They're closing out. It's like, man, let me take my money. Or if they didn't make any money, just getting out of the market before the end of the day. So, yeah, I don't know what day of the week this was. I have to look back at it. Anyway, so that's it. So you can use your RSI in a couple of ways. This is how I use it. Anytime it hits down here, meaning, and we'll go here, you can see this price dropped, plummeted. Really, it had been up at the top. This is a good one. And then price dropped all the way to the bottom. So here, look at that big old red bar, comes in, breaks through 3 of your moving averages. The only thing that would have concerned me is exactly what happened here. This 200-day is sitting there and it'll stop the price. You see how this candle responds to that 200-day? It bounces back up. Well, the sellers came back in. They were like, "Oh no." And they came in with, with some real volume, and they broke through. And then you get this next big push. Check out Oliver Velez. He talks about a 3 push play, 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. And then I think he says the move is basically over after 3 pushes. But check out Oliver Velez. The man's a master. He's been trading for forever. He's easy to follow. I like him. But here's how you could have used your RSI to help you, at least explain what the heck just happened. Price was near overbought. We got all these sellers in. They sell, sell, sell. They run the price down. And then it's down here in oversold territory. So when it's oversold, one thing you'll notice about it, it doesn't stay down here very long. It can, I've seen it, but it's not going to hang out there for like 12 days in a row and not move. Price just doesn't move like that. So generally you'll see this kind of up down movement. And that's what I like about trading NVIDIA, because I say she just runs up and down this RSI all day. So you get this from top to bottom, you get a bottom back up to the top. And so you can also see that's what the price is doing. So price hits this low, and then over the course of the next, what time was it? Maybe next couple hours, then price rises back up. So you could use your RSI to help you decide if it's time to get a call or a put. If your RSI is all the way down here, you might want to start getting in the frame of mind that the price is going to rebound and come back up. Possibly. We don't make, we don't guess. We let the candles tell us, they reveal themselves. But I would be thinking, okay, let me be on the lookout for an opportunity to purchase a call. And a call is what you purchase when the price goes up. Well, when it was here at the top, you might fix your mind to think, well, wait a minute, I know this thing isn't going to stay up here at this RSI in this overbought position forever. Price is probably going to respond and come down, and it does. So when it's high up top like this, near this value of 70, you might want to start thinking and looking for support. And I don't want to say support, but looking for other things that give you confluence, and whether it's time to buy a put. Because just like, up at the top, down at the bottom, down at the bottom, up to the top. And it just runs like that. Top, bottom. So that's one reason I like to trade NVIDIA, because you get a lot of movement with NVIDIA. And I think her average trading range is like $14. Let's look and see. Yeah, $14. So that could be up or down. So what that figure, let me show you that again in my chart. On my watch list. This $14 here, this ATR, and I always get these acronyms mixed up. So if anybody wants to correct the acronym, I say it's average trading range. It could be average true range. It could be anything, but let me tell you what it does and why you want to know. This says $14.25. And what they're saying is historically, over time, it has been shown that NVIDIA is likely to go up $14 in a day or down $14 in a day. And that information is helpful, because if you get into the market and she's already gone up $13 in the trading day, you want to be cognizant that, well, she might not have a whole lot of room left to run, because she's already up $13. Or if it's only moved up, say, $2 by the time you're looking at it, then she's got some room to either run up or down. And so I keep that in my watch list. And why isn't Ford on here? Because y'all know Ford is my favorite. Ford is my favorite for baby traders like myself. Anyway, so Ford only moves an average of 29 cents a day, and it moves so slow, y'all. That's why I think Ford is good for beginning traders, because it moves so slow. So let's get back into this day. I want to make it big enough. Okay, so we talked about the MACD being the heartbeat. It helps us understand the health of a trend. If that trend is waxing or waning, it helps us know if it's a downward trend, because you'll see those red bars, green bars, upward trend. Our RSI is helpful in kind of our decision making about whether we're buying calls or puts. Yeah, I'll leave it there. The next one is the TTM Squeeze. Basically the same thing, y'all. This is like trading by colors. There are only 4 colors, and I'll start with this right here because this is the easiest to see. You can literally see that this is an upward trend. You look at your candles. This is a nice move up. And again, these indicators are lagging indicators. I'll get back to the chat in just a second, y'all. Wait a minute. I need some place where I can watch the chat too. Hold tight, y'all. Who is this? Oh, let me get over here to YouTube so that I can see the chat too. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. So that way I can at least halfway follow y'all in the chat, and I don't have to change my screen. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the TTM Squeeze. It also helps you understand like where you are with the trend. So this one's the easiest to see.
Understand like where you are.
Okay. So you see the light blue, you see how these green candlesticks are going up. Price is clearly going up. Well, if you look down here at the TTM Squeeze, it kind of coordinates with that. As these bright blue bars get bigger, 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 you can see, look at this, nice big green candle, nice big green candle. Price is going up, and it's a pretty healthy trend up. We saw that too with our MACD. Oh, shoot, the green bars they're bright green, and they're getting taller. So these things are telling me the same thing. I see it here with my candlesticks, but I don't know how long this is going to go on. And so I use my other indicators to help me see how healthy this trend is. Because the first time I see these dark blue bars come in and then they start to diminish in size, what it's saying to me is that upward trend is cooling. It still might be going up. Price might still be going up, but it's not going up as quickly as it was. It's not going up with the momentum that it was going. And you might want to consider, if you have a call, you might want to be looking out for either price to stabilize or start to decline, and thereby you might be wanting to get out of your trade. So all of this stuff is just color coordinated. The same is true for a downward trend, except for they use the colors red and yellow. So you can see prices going down, 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 down. You can see our MACD is all red. You also see kind of how it fluctuates between the bright red and the dark red. Well, look at that. You got some red and green candles in here. It's a little fluctuation in there, a little volatility. And so you'll see that down in your MACD too. So you see this dark red. That's a good sign. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Price is coming down. Price is coming down. Everything says the same thing. Price is coming down. My RSI is indicating that the price is coming down. When it hits that, I'm on the lookout. Now you see this yellow start to come in, which is telling you, that downward trend may be getting ready to reverse. And indeed it does. So that's really quick, something that hopefully that helps you. Just why do I use those indicators? I use them because they're color coordinated, and it's just easy to see. I'm looking to see. Yeah, Marilyn added a link. Okay, okay, okay. I was trying to see if there was a question. I would suggest a one-on-one. Okay, yeah. Is there a beginning course you would recommend newbies take? Come sit with us. What do you think this is? We're a lovely bunch. I mean, although it is for ladies, so I can't tell if Jay-Z designs if you're a lady or not. But if you're of the feminine persuasion, come join us. We have a good time. We talk money. It's no pressure. It's no pressure to buy anything. You don't even have to have money. We can show you how to open up your account with, like, I was going to say very little money. With no money, you can open up your Schwab account, and then you can at least start paper trading. They enable a paper component that you don't have to risk any money. And I would suggest that everybody start there with paper trading. So I'm going to come out of my chart. And the next thing I'll be showing you is how I plot support and resistance and how I put on Fibonacci's retracement. And you all know I've made no bones about this. I started trading about a year ago. I still refer to myself as a baby trader because I'm learning, but I'm willing to share what I've learned so far. And hey, High Vibe, does Fidelity have paper trading too? You know what? I don't use that platform as much, but I'm going to have to say yes. I think any platform worth its weight, of course, they have to. I don't use them as much. If you have Fidelity, I have them, and I've traded on that platform. But I can't honestly say that I've ever like charted or did anything on that platform. I forgot the name of it. That's how little I use it. But they do have their own trading platform. And I would just be willing to bet anything that they have a paper trading component. You can always call them. They are so nice at Fidelity. Very nice people, very helpful. I never felt like they were trying to rush me, and I got good information. So let me see if there's anything else. If you have a question, put QQQ, or, QQQ used to be my babe. Put Q's in front of if you have a question, and that'll help me spot them. Marilyn, I don't know. Did Marilyn leave? I was going to say, Marilyn, can you put the questions up? Like, do you have the capability of like posting the question up? Because if you post it up on the screen, then I'll see it. I don't know if you have the capability of doing that. So that might help me see them quicker too. Does anybody have a question before I go on? Welcome, Jay-Z Design. Is this your first time? I don't know that I've seen your name before. That sounds like a YouTube channel too. So If you're here and it's your first time, please subscribe, y'all. It costs nothing. But when I tell you it means the world to me, I don't feel like I'm out here hustling so hard. If you're here with us and you're enjoying the content, stay, come back. But all we ask is that you like and subscribe. You should receive an email. Okay, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all doing. Now I'm gonna go back in. Since we talked about volume, we talked about the MACD, we talked about the RSI and the TTM, I'm gonna go in and show you how I do Fibonacci's. I'm gonna go back to my daily chart for that. So I'm switching here. Up here this is your time frame setup. And this is where you can make these candles say just about anything you want. You can look at the trading day minute by minute. I don't advise anybody do that. You can look at the candles by 5-minute intervals, 15 minutes. I like to look at the 5-minute and the 15-minute when I'm looking at patterns, when I want to, take a step back. And so let me show you. This is what it looks like when the candles are representing 5 minutes of trading. Let me show you what it looks like when it's 15 minutes. It's so much easier to see, the pattern. Come on, that is clearly an upward trend. And you can clearly see the price coming down here. So different time frames will give you a different view, but it's all the same data. It's all the same price, all the same price movement. You're just looking at it in different time frames. And it is wise, if you're day trading, to look across time frames. The smaller time frames you would use if you're entering your trade, because you really want to get pinpoint accuracy as much as you can. You want to try to get in there exactly the moment. But when I'm looking, like studying, maybe pre-market, I start with, I know this is insane, but I don't always look at the 20-year. But I usually start with like a monthly chart, a weekly chart, just to refresh myself. Where are we? What has happened with this stock over the last month? What has this stock been doing over the last week? And let me just share those views with you so you'll know, and maybe that'll make a little more sense. So I'll start with maybe a weekly chart like this. I don't do anything. I just look at it. It's like, okay, so I can see each one of these candles represents a week. So since October, Nvidia's just been on this upward tear. Okay, so that's good. That makes me feel good. She's looking pretty good. She's been going up. It's not without, we've had some pullbacks, some little give backs here, but all in all, she's been going up week by week by week. And look at this week here. Oh, Lord Jesus, I got to get focused and start trading again, because this money is giving me, I don't have no FOMO. Maryland won't let me have FOMO. But good Lord, that was a nice little move over the week. I hope somebody caught some of this money. Anyway, so I look at the weekly chart and I can say, okay, so yeah, we're in a nice little upward trend. Then I'm going to pull in. Now I'm going to look at my daily chart. Every last one of these candles simply represents a day in trading. And this is what you love to see. This is our 200-day moving average, and she is well above the 200-day moving average. But you can see, look, it goes up, it pulls back, it goes up. This was like for real range trading. I could plot that right there, but I'll leave it. I'll start plotting on my daily chart. But I just want you to see why I pull all the way out and then pull in, because the candlesticks are telling me a story. They're telling me what has happened. And you can see, I'm telling you, that's why I didn't really see this thing coming, but there's a pattern here too. We got to talk about that. But you can see price went up, it went down, price went up, it went down, up, down, up, down. But what you notice, it's constantly creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. And that's the power of investing in the stock market. It's going to go up and down. You cannot be skittish. You can't, every time the stock takes a drop, you can't be willing to sell your stock or sell your positions. You have to be willing to hold on for the long haul if this is a long hold investment for you. But for day traders, we love this movement. What? Moving up and down like that? Swing traders got to love it too. If you hold this stock for a few days, hey, make you some money. So I'm pulling out, I'm looking like, okay, wow, this is really good over the last few days. NVIDIA is really taken off in the last few days. But I want to pull it out so you can see this. Because look, this is what I see. When I see this, clearly above, real nice big push above all of these. But look at how these candlesticks are diminishing in size. I'm telling you, look, we're all here in this overbought territory. And now we got a little red. And for me, that thing says, hey, you better pay attention, because either she could stall out and consolidate, or this thing could do a reversal. Remember, we're at all-time highs. So the candles tell you the story of the stock price. So we talked about pulling out. Now I'm pulling in. I pulled into the day, and then I would pull in even more down to my hourly chart just to kind of see, what's been going on with my girl. What's she been doing? Man, these were some good trading days. Oh, I promise you I don't have FOMO, but I swear there was some money made in the market. This was a beautiful day, whoever. And if you swung trade this thing and just held it for a day or two, but see, you want to get out, because that's what happened. I'm telling you, you see it. Here's what happened. Price goes up, up, up. Folks are happy. Price goes up, up, up some more. And then people start taking profits. It's like they're getting that money and they breaking that money off the table. This thing is like rinse and repeat. I'm telling you, NVIDIA runs up and down, up and down. So now you got another buying opportunity. People come in, they run the price up a little more, they run the price up, you take profit. Okay, so now I'm looking at my hourly chart. So I hope that helps you understand why you start out big. You can start out looking, if you look at the 20-year, you can see, oh my gosh, she's in an upward trajectory. And then you move into your weekly chart and you can see, how she's moving week by week. And then by the time, I usually stop at my hourly chart for my big view. And then I use those smaller time frames for actually entering and exiting trades. The bigger time frames, the 20-year, the weekly chart, the monthly, the daily, I like to look at those for an overview. It's like, okay, it's kind of like perusing. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. It's just what I said. It's like an overview. And then you hone in on those shorter, those smaller time frames, like your 3-minute, your 5-minute, and your 15-minute, when you're actively trading and looking at your charts. So let's go back to the daily chart. Let me see. Hey, D Walker. I'm trying to see, did anybody else come in? Okay. Let's go. I'm going to start plotting on my daily chart, and we might as well do a fib. And a Fibonacci's retracement, if y'all aren't familiar with it, look it up, because Fibonacci's is so fascinating. If you're a numbers person, it's a number sequence. It's a pattern that occurs naturally in nature. You'll see it in flower petals, and it has to do with the numbers. And I used to teach this stuff. Y'all know I've been out the classroom 3 years. So I'll leave it to you. I hope that piques your interest. Go check out Fibonacci's retrace. It's not even Fibonacci's retracement, just the Fibonacci sequence. And if I'm not mistaken, I won't even go into it, y'all. But it goes something like this. If you take 0 and 1 and add those together, you come up with 1. If you take 1 plus 1 and add those together, you come up with 2. Then you take 2 plus 1 and you add those together, you come up with 3. And so you just keep adding the previous two numbers, the numbers that are side by side. Somebody check me, because Lord knows I ain't been in the classroom in a minute, but I believe that's how the Fibonacci sequence is constructed. And so the first thing I'm going to do is place that on there. And what that does is it shows us where there is supply and demand. So let me just go over here. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go to my drawing tools. And the Fibonacci's tool is represented by this percent sign. And so what you want to do is find a low. Oh, I should have did that. Let me do this first. Let me blow this thing up so we can see. So I'm going to find a low on this chart. And so here's a low. And so since this is a nice upward trend, I'm going to start low. I'm going to lay it, drop it low, drop it low, and then take it to the top. So go get my fib tool. And if there's somebody in the chat, if you all hear me say something that's off, please correct it. So here we go. Where's my fib thing? Okay, you'll know because you'll have a pencil. So I'm going to drop it here, and then I'm going to stretch it and go all the way up to this high. I think that high is about I'm going to go to about 450 something. Okay, and this does not have to be like, it's not like somebody's coming behind you and they're going to give you a test. Did you get it exactly right? You just want to get about that low and about the high, and then we can talk about what we see. So I'll stretch this out, and you'll know it says, sister, check your phone. Okay. Okay, I got it. I got my phone. I got it right here. Okay, I'll try check now. I copy and paste questions into the live chat. Okay. Thank you. That helps. Let me go look at the chat. Thanks, Marilyn. Okay, I see. It says what I'll do is when I'm ready for another one-on-one, I'll contact Sandra directly for a Okay, cool. Did I miss a question, Marilyn? Let me know. Okay. After I do the fibs and do some support and resistance, I'll do a support and resistance in another color so you can see how they kind of line up. So let's see here. Pull this out a little. Okay. So hopefully your TV shows better than mine. Why is it so blurry? Y'all know why it's so blurry, because my internet connection is trash. But at any rate, let's pull out a little. So you can see that the price really does what we say is respect these price levels. So at about $450, can you see where all these candles, I'm gonna blow it up a little more. Can you see where these candles oh, I know what. Let me take away these yeah, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take away these simple moving averages so that you can see it a little better. Let me remove some of this stuff. Undo, because I want my fibs back, but I do want to remove those. Okay, hold tight. I got my phone, sis. I got my phone. Nicole, yes, Nicole, how to sign up for follow-up one-on-one. Okay. Nicole, I'll have to send you something. Oh yeah, because we changed that link. Okay. Nicole, email me and then I'll set something up for you. I'll send you a link for a follow-up, because you're right, there isn't. There's just the links for the new. I have to create 2 new links, to be honest with you guys, because it came to my attention that there's some people who already have their accounts set up that would probably still like to join, the class, but they've already had their account set up. So I need to make a link for those people, and then I need to make a link for follow-ups, like touch-up appointments. I'll do that. Marilyn, don't let me forget. I got to create those. I'll create those 2 links tomorrow, and then I'll shoot them out to you. So let me see. I want to remove old drawings. I hope that's it. I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to clear that out so you all can see, but you're just going to have to see. You're just going to have to trust me. This red line here, right here, is at this price, $457. And you can see that these candlesticks bounce. It tried so hard to get below that 450, and it sat there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It couldn't get beneath it. I should have known it was going to be a little breakout. And it just kind of respects that price level. It's a support. It's clearly, telling us that at this price level, NVIDIA's going to have a little trouble. She can't get below it. And then what happens? Eventually, she bounces off of that I'm pull this down a little. And then what happens? I'm gonna pull it down, pull, pull, pull. She still it's kind of consolidating in that it's not a big price move. And then suddenly she bounces off of it and heads right up to $540. That was a nice little move. Phew, from $450 to $540. Y'all, that's almost like a $90 move over just a few days. So anybody, if you swung trade this, man, that was nice. That was a nice little move. But you'll see that it also stops right here at this 540. And I'm going to be curious to see if it hits, or if it breaks through, because this line now represents resistance. And resistance means it's hit a price and it's having trouble getting above that price. So you can see how a Fibonacci can mirror like your support, because here candles are sitting on it. When it acts as a floor, we call that support. When this price level acts as a ceiling, we call that resistance. So the price has resistance, or if it's going to reject off of it and the price comes down again. So that's helpful. If you know that there's resistance and you purchased a call right down here and you were lucky enough to ride it up and it hits this resistance, you might want to take some profit. And I'm sure that's what happened right here, why this candle was red. These people probably noticed, it hit this resistance. They probably took a little profit. And then some folks hanging around, just like I probably would, to see if it's going to go and break through this resistance. So support and resistance can help you figure out, when to get in a trade and when to get out of a trade. And it also it acts as protection. So let's say if you were buying a call, you would want to get into that call somewhere near the support, because you have seen that for days it couldn't break below here. And so that would kind of give you a little bit of cover, like, wow, it'll at least slow the price down. Y'all know I'm getting sleepy, so that's a little overview of how you might use your Fibonacci's retracement. It'll lay you down some rough supply and demand, some rough support and resistance, and you can use that to help you decide, is this a good time to get in this trade? Is this a good time to get out of the trade? And of course, it'll depend. If you're buying a call, you want to get in near support. If you're buying a put, you want to purchase it right at resistance. So like if another red candle comes in, another red candle comes in, and it looks like this price is going to start dipping, I want to get in, because this resistance is going to be like my little protection, because it's telling us, hey, for 1 day, 2 day, really, you could almost say 3 days. I can't really see that wick, that the price has not been able to penetrate and go higher. So if I was going to get a put, like if another red candle came in, another one, I want to get it as close to this resistance as possible, because that's my protection. So we use support and resistance in that way to kind of cover us. Now I'm going to take this off of here, because I can clearly take these off. I don't know how to take nothing else off, but I can sure remove these. Let's see, clear drawing set. Yes. Okay, so now we want to talk about how do I plot. Like if I was just going to do some old fashioned, I got my phone here, Marilyn. Like if I was going to do some old fashioned plot support and resistance. Let me pull this out. This is so cool. I like this. Okay, because you can see it. You can really see it if I make it like this. Okay, so just like that Fibonacci showed us, like where this stock might run into some trouble in terms of price, like where it might stall out, you can actually manually place these on. And the way you do that is you get this drawing tool. Let me show you again. It's this price level here, the dollar sign, and it'll give you another tool like this little crayon. So I anchor it over here. You can anchor it. And by anchor it, I mean you double tap it or tap it on your computer and it'll drop a square, which lets you know that that's anchored. You can anchor it on either side. But I usually anchor on this side. And then what I'm doing is I'm running across this price, all the price. I'm trying to see, is there a place where it looks like, you know, she struggled. She couldn't get above it. And right away, I see this. My sister. Yep, I am. As soon as I plot this support and resistance, I am. I'm going right to bed. Because now my sleepy is coming. But y'all, when I tell y'all I slept all day, I slept all day long. Okay, so then I'm going to plot another one because what I see here is, look, cluster, cluster, something's happening, cluster. Look at that. It's so true. So I'm going to roll here and I'm going to plop this down right about there. And if you look at it, you can see all she did was run. This is when I left. When I left town, she was running up and down between these two. And I'm like, okay, we good. She'll probably run up and down. She ran up and down this for months, traded right in between this price range of $400 and $500. I did not see her breaking above this 500. But this way you can clearly see that over the last few months, man, that was since June. Nvidia didn't do anything but run up and down, y'all. That was good money. Up and down. As soon as she gets to the top, she runs to the bottom. When she's at the top, you buy a put. You ride her down to the bottom. When she gets to the bottom, you buy a call. You ride it up to the top. She gets to the top, you buy another put. You ride it to the bottom. And that's all she was doing. Now, this whole breakout move, I didn't see that coming. But had we plotted, I guess, well, yeah, that's the same thing. I was gonna say this is like a little channel. She's trading in this little range, this little channel here. And when that breakout happened, there you go. That's your indication. Uh-oh, she's coming out of that. And then too, she hung out up here for a long time. You can see this was like a pattern, seriously. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. She was doing a thing. And then this hanging out up near the top, I should have known. But I wasn't watching it. So this is my study time too, y'all. So this is the stuff that I would do if I was trading. I go back and look at everything, like what has been happening over the last couple months, the last couple of days, and the last couple of weeks. And so we plot support and resistance across time frames. So I started here with my daily chart, and those are just some rough ones. You could go in and pick out some smaller ones too. So like here, right in here, there's another price level where we get a reaction. Either it rejects off of there or it breaks through. So right around here, and I'm trying to get as many touches as possible. So I'm going to say right around there, kind of around that 485 range. We had a little something going on. So that's what I would do on my daily chart. So I'm going to change colors too. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, maybe not do it on the daily now. I'm going to do it on my hourly chart, which brings me in a little closer. I can see. And right away, I can see right down here something is happening. And so I'm going to change the color of those. And the reason I would change the color, and I won't do it right now, but the reason I would is because I know my blue dotted lines represent support and resistance on my daily chart. If I'm charting on my hourly chart, I might make these yellow. And so I'm going to go in and do the same thing and find where these clusters are. Like, where did she run into some trouble? And you can see right around here. So I'm going to drop that about right there. And you can see she played, and bounced off to the sky. And this has just been constantly on the move. I would take that one. And then it looks like something's going on right around here too. So for a few days, she hung around here and couldn't get above. So I'm going to throw one in there too. And so what these lines do is they just help us keep track of, supply and demand. Like, where do the buyers come in? Where do the sellers come in? And that talks about, or it speaks to the psychology of a trader. Like, I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all, because I am getting sleepy. Let me get over here and say hey and good night. Hey, living my dream. You'll be popping in here like out of nowhere. I'm about to go to bed though, y'all. It is legitimately 1:38 a.m. in the morning in Thailand. So it finally cooled off. It was a hot one today too. So Let me see. Is there anything, Marilyn? Is there anything I need to attend to or address? Good night, Mimi. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed, y'all. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow I have an appointment. Let me see. I better put myself back in this thing. Okay. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Do I have an appointment? I do. I have an appointment tomorrow. So I don't know. I'm gonna do a walk and talk tomorrow because we haven't did a walk and talk in a while. So I'm gonna do a walk and talk, and I'll do that first thing in the morning because I need to walk anyway. I'll do a walk and talk. I'll do my appointment, and then I probably won't see you guys for a few days. But please do me a favor, share the channel. Most everybody here with us tonight is either a subscriber or, you're a member of our community. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Please go check out my friend. Hey, Elle. Hey, Edith. Hey, y'all. Go see Big Up Yourself, Yvette Boone of Yvette Boone Creates, Living My Dream Trading, Mimi Slow Travels. Did I miss anybody? I don't know. I didn't see. Let's talk about it with Mara, but y'all go see. Let's talk about it with Mara. I'm scrolling. Oh, and Nicole J. Butler. Y'all got, if y'all want to laugh, I promise you, go see Nicole. Just go. Take my word for it. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Nicole will have you laugh. And her mom has a YouTube channel too. And when they get together, y'all, it's just hilarity. I think Jay-Z Designs might be a YouTube channel too. And the way we do around here is we support one another. If you get over to any of those channels and it doesn't look like it's your jam, it's not your vibe, then don't subscribe. But you can still like the content. All of that stuff helps small content creators grow because it's considered engagement and it lets the YouTube algorithm know that we're interested in this content. And I promise you, it doesn't cost you a dime. So if you ever go to your page, if you look up and all your thumbs are pressed thumbs up, that's me. That's my signature move. So you can do that for somebody. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference in a content creator's life. So y'all get over to Living My Dream, get over to his YouTube page and just hit all the thumbs up. Just hit them all. Or leave a comment. Get over to Big Up Yourself. Hit all of those thumbs up buttons. And let's just love on each other and let's keep this good vibe going, y'all. On that note, I'm going to bed. If you need to, please schedule. Oh, Marilyn, I'm going to drop did we drop the link in the chat for anybody who wanted to? Let me see. I think I can get y'all a link pretty quickly. Where is it? I can do that much. I'm not that sleepy, y'all. Let me see. Copy this link. Now I just have to get back to the doggone thing. Oh, I saw it. I passed it up. Here it is. Okay. There's the link in case anybody wants to schedule. Thanks, Marilyn. I found one too. Thank you so much. All right. So I will talk to you guys. And then I'll talk to you all tomorrow. It'll be in the evening for you, but it'll be the morning for me. So when I get up in the morning, I'll do a walk. I will do a walk and talk, and then we'll meet up from there. Thank you, folks. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Don't forget, go support a YouTuber. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye, y'all. Thank you, Marilyn.